Now I'm about to show you the craziest wall of allocated whiskey I've ever seen at any given time, all at once. I think we might have just made a deal. I don't know. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Whiskier. I am still in Florida and I am still on the hunt for bourbon. Let's go bourbon hunting. All right, y'all, so we made it to the whiskey barn. Let's go inside, see what they have so far. Got a Buffalo Trace window, an Eagle Rare, and some Benchmark in the window. All right, so made it inside the whiskey barn here. Right off rip, look at that. Some Henry McKenna, $69.99. Right behind it, first thing that caught my eye is the OG Batch 1 WB Saffel. And they got that there for $54.99 for that one. Right next to Bond and Lillard as well on the end cap. And then this end cap here, looks like there's whiskey on this side of the shelf and that side of the shelf. But this right here, they have the rare characters that we just saw. And our last video actually was over at Stars and Stripes. They have both of them here, $119 for each of them. Smoke Wagon Private Barrel. This is a 7-year, 120.2 proof right there. Short barrel. That one is $179 for the short barrel, and then $90 for the Smoke Wagon. A couple of Nulus right there. I think this, yep, that's the Ambarana finish Nulu for $90 right here. They also have the Store Pick 1792 foolproof for $50. Elijah Craig Knott 8-year, excuse me, for $90. Also, on top of the barrel, they have a Rebel Store Pick, $55, and it is 120 proof, almost on the dot. Here's OKI again. The second time in Florida I've seen OKI. $80 for that one, $85 for that one. This one right here is batch 1, and then this one right here is batch 2. So they have batch 1, batch 2. I'm not sure which one I have at home, but it really is delicious. Peerless Double Oak Rye for $129.99. Next to a couple of the regular standard offerings. Remus, $4.99 for that Remus Repeal Reserve. Got some Penelope Wheated there, $35. This is one that just kind of came and went in Louisiana. There's only one store that I've seen that still carries it consistently, and it's the store that I originally bought this bottle at, which was Nunu's and Scott. Haven't seen it since though, but it's a solid bottle for $35. That's what this store has it. Very solid. High West Midwinter Night Stram for $2.19, and then right next to it, dude, I've actually had this right here, the Noble Share Casa Noble from High West, $174.99. I'm not actually sure with the guy that I had this with, paid for. We had the Yippee-Ki-Yay, this, and one of the older Prisoner Shares. This one and the Yippee-Ki-Yay were phenomenal. Like, this bottle is actually really, really good. I've never seen it in a store before, but they have it here for $175. It's 104 proof. Got a good bit of the Old Forester offerings on the bottom right there. Up top, we have some more Nulu. Check this out. The Cotton Club Rye Whiskey 20-year, $280. And then right next to it, the Chicken Cock Island Rooster for $200. I know nothing about these two. One thing I can say though, I love the packaging on Chicken Cock. Oh, I've never seen this one in the store yet. I do remember though, I got to try this at Whiskey Washback Houston. RD1 was there. This is a 10-year-old finished in Ambarana. 117.7 proof. Very glad I got to try this. Not for me, especially for the price though. I think RD1's regular Ambarana is just as good, but this was a pretty unique and cool experience I got to have trying this bottle. But yeah, $2.99 for that one right there. Here's some more of that Private Select from Smoke Wagon right there, $79. Next to Halloween bottle as well of the regular offering. Got some Knob 12. There's a lot of people that are big fans of Knob Creek 12. $74.99. In the last video, so I've come kind of to figure out, this store, Whiskey Barn, is also owned by the same owner of Stars and Stripes, where we went in the last video, and I bought the Knob Creek pick. It was phenomenal, so good. But we're here now. Look at this. A tower of Jack Daniel's Sinatra. A full tower. That is a pretty sweet display. $199 for these.
I don't see much of this anymore, the Lucky 7. I do remember the Double Oak, which I don't think they have, was my favorite one that I've tried from them as a whole. Jefferson's Reserve Pritchard Hill right here. I don't really know anything about that. 43 bucks, a couple of the Hirsch products. I recently am finding out a little bit more about what Hirsch is. I know some of the stuff comes from Willet, but not all of it. This Pinhook 9 is really, really good. Let's see. $89.99 for that one. I'm a big fan of these. Let's see if there's anything special about this one. 2024 release, 114.3 proof, unfiltered. No, not a pick, just very solid whiskey. I love these. You know what got me really introduced into Pinhook as well was one of my subscribers sent me in the 8-year gold wax to dump inside of the infinity barrel. And normally when there's bottles sent to me that I don't get to drink that often or I've never tried, I'll take a little sip of it and then dump it in the barrel. That's what got me introduced to Pinhook, was that day. So I appreciate you. You know who you are. Not familiar with that bottle right there. Tiger Thick? What? 80 bucks right there. Yellow Rose, Noble Oak, Party Batch. I've never heard of that either. Got some Dark Arts, Larceny. Let's see, this is the A125 for $79.99. B5 24 for $79.99 right there. 13th Colony, this is the cask strength 13th Colony for 110 bucks. And then their standard rye for 45 bucks. Green River offerings. Oh, they have Hogsworth. I thought these were exclusive to online. This is Hogsworth from Raj Bhakta over with Bhakta Distiller. I'm a huge fan. So watch how cool this is, okay? $47. Look at the back, you ready? The youngest juice in here, 4 years old, Tennessee whiskey. The oldest juice in here, 42-year-old Armagnac. 5% of this bottle. A great price for what that is. I'd have to take this one home with me. I literally thought this was exclusively online. When I tried to order it, they didn't ship to the state that I was currently in. That is sweet. Hogsworth. A little bit more of the standard offerings. They got Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. This is a TYG for $65. Next to Rare Breed, 60 bucks. All the benchmarks down here. You got benchmark full proof for $22.99. Single barrel is $26. Bonded is $22. Top floor is $16. Now I'm about to show you the craziest wall of allocated whiskey I've ever seen at any given time, all at once. Here it is. This is probably an even crazier selection than I saw when we were visiting New York as a whole. I mean, just take a look at every single bottle that's there. You got Bland straight from the barrel next to the gold. Stag, 1924 Old Forester, Parker's 14, Parker's double barrel. This bottle right here is actually a dream bottle of mine. I got to try this when I was still in Colorado. Shout out to Josh. Me, Josh, and Joe cracked that bottle one night, and it was phenomenal. Hands down, one of the best bottles of whiskey I've ever had. Probably top 3. 132 proof, Parker's. And I'm not crazy over a lot of the Heaven Hill stuff. Like this one, for example, I didn't think was that crazy. This one, top tier. 4 Roses limited edition. Got the 17-year American light whiskey from Penelope right there. Some of the estate 10-year Tokai, Rio, Valencia. Every single BTAC bottle except for William LaRue Weller, all right here next to the Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. Old Rip 10, the 12, 15 just sold out, and then they have some 20 as well. The 13th Colony 15-year anniversary. I know a lot of people were huge fans of that. I got to try that one with Mr. Chance Downs. Thank you, Chance. We met up and did a bourbon hunt around the Shreveport area, Shreveport, Louisiana. That was one of the bottles he brought. I thought it was great. Personally, I think this bottle trumps it by a lot. The Jack Daniel's 14-year. I still have yet to find one. Pretty cool to see next to the 1210 Heaven Hill Grain to Glass. He also has some Old Forester birthday bourbon right there. The new Star Hill Farms. I have a bottle of that at home. I really, really love it. The Double Eagle Very Rare. Right there next to the OFC. How cool is that? Take a look at this. The Double Eagle Very Rare. I've actually never seen one in person. Look at the eagle when you get up and close. Wow. That is sweet. So this entire wall right here is just straight up allocations. We're pretty much right across the street from the beach over here. I'm on the Destin side, so this was like a good 35-ish minutes away. But I think now we're gonna taste a couple of the bottles that they have open, some of their picks, and we'll get right to it. All right, so we're gonna start out with this right here. This is a short barrel, single barrel rye, coming in at 119.6 proof. Doesn't even smell like a rye. It smells really sweet. Almost bourbon forward. I know it's not a bourbon though, but I'd say, would you say it's like a bourbon lover's rye? So someone that enjoys bourbon would like this? Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's really good. That tastes like almost nothing like rye whatsoever.
I was not into rye. After trying this, I was like, yeah, I can
Whoa.
do that.
You almost get a good bit of that green apple note on it though. I really enjoy that. That's good. So did y'all go to Short Barrel to pick this, or they send samples here for you?
For these two, I think we went to Short Barrel and picked it because
Okay.
I was not with them at the same
Okay.
time. But then this one, we picked it with our business pick,
Okay.
and Richard has met with them at that time.
Okay.
So this one and the business happened during the signing event of this two. These two were there already there.
Already there. Okay, gotcha. Next up, we got this 118.6 proof. This is a Short Barrel, single barrel series bourbon distilled in Indiana. So this is more than likely an MGP. And nothing wrong with MGP though. I love some good MGP whiskey. Whoa. I think a very strong butterscotch. Very strong butterscotch on this one. Let's see. That's good. A little bit too much of a nutty profile on the back end for me. That rye though, like I'm going rye so far. That's my winner so far out of the three. I'm very excited for this last one though, because it's rumored to be 13-year-old Heaven Hill juice. 13-year-old Heaven Hill. And it is 110.4 proof. I don't think I've ever had anything, I'm trying to think, maybe Elijah Craig 18 would be the oldest Heaven Hill juice that I've had. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. Yeah, it smells good. It smells sweet. If you probably handed that to me or some people that I know blind and said, what distillery was this from? We would probably say,
Heaven Hill.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a very distinct Heaven Hill profile. It reminds me of one of these, but much older, an Elijah Craig pick. This one is an 8-year-old pick, but that's exactly what that reminds me of, is an Elijah Craig pick, just a little bit more amped up. That is really good. What's your favorite though out of the, you going Heaven Hill, you're going this one or the rye? Heaven Hill? Me too. I think me too, yeah. And then rye though, that rye, man, we were talking about the off camera. She said that I wasn't really into rye. Then I tried this and it just changed my mind completely. Have you had Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye before?
Yes.
Oh, that's so good to me.
It is, but this was kind of like the first ever that kind of like put me on that rye thing. That yeah, I would love to try more.
Try more
And
rye.
see,
So that
like,
opened you up to the idea.
It opened me up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can see how empty this bottle is, right? It's from my store, and it's my sample, so pretty much it's me.
I think we might have just made a deal. I don't know. We just got done finishing tasting our samples and everything, and the store owner called me. I answered while I was here. And he's like, which bottle you've never seen before? I was like, honestly, all of them. He's like, what's, one you've never had? Dream bottle. I said, to be honest, the Parker's Double Barrel or the Eagle Rare 17. And he said, well, what are you willing to pay for it? I said, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't pay too much more than MSRP. I said, how much? Honest to God, I don't want to offend you. I'd pay $250. And he said, all right, let me talk to the manager. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. I'll let you know.
A few moments later.
He must love you.
Oh, she said he must love you. Look at this. Oh my God. Is this happening? For real?
We're doing it? Jeez Louise, okay.
Oh man,
Like Eagle Lettuce.
it's so good. Oh my God, this is crazy.
Well, a little bit lost for words. That has never, ever happened to me before. Ever. And this is what we're going home with. After tax and everything, and you know, that's my guilty conscience is, that wasn't the price listed. $275.51 after tax. $275.51 for an Eagle Rare 17. That'll never, ever, ever, ever happen to me again in my life. I wasn't expecting it. This is the fall 2023. But, you know, I don't know. I was a little bit lost for words, a little bit stunned. Yes, this bottle will be cracked immediately when I get home to Louisiana. I'm gonna crack this open and enjoy it. One thing that I've always said though, I can't spend my top dollar at every single liquor store. It's just not possible for me to spend my money at every single store that I go to, or even spend a lot of money. But when I get offered the opportunity like this, I mean, never happens. It does make me feel good because hopefully, you know, a lot of you that watch this video, maybe when you're vacationing to Florida, will stop in to this store or one of the last videos that we've done. And that's always my goal. That's why I started the whole channel, was not to get bottles like this, because if you watch the channel for a while, you see I don't get bottles like this, hardly ever. It's really for the people and to show off good liquor stores that maybe you can visit. They had some really great shelfers in here. I don't think the next store is gonna top this, but we're gonna go hit a spot on the way home. We'll see you at the next store, I guess. Wow. All right, so I made it to the next spot. It's about 5 minutes away. Cash's Liquors. See you inside. Everything is behind the counter here, so I'll do my best to call out what they got, some of the prices. Let's get right to it. Chopper over there, some Buffalo Trace for $36.99. Blends for $166, it looks like. Some Wild Turkey 101. Looks like there's some pretty standard regular offerings. All right, that was Cash's Liquor. Not much at all. They must own another location somewhere around the area to have just Blanton's, just a couple bottles of Blanton's, and just a couple of bottles of Buffalo Trace on the shelf. There was a lot of loud music though coming from the back, and it just says Cash's Liquors. These are almost like speakeasies. The last store that we were just at, the Whiskey Barn, in the back had a bar, a full-blown bar. There was loud music, there was a pool table, a lot of locals were there. And when you Google it, it does say lounge. So I guess it's kind of one of those if you know type of spots. Same thing with here, there was a bar in the back. But that's gonna be it for today's bourbon hunt. I gotta get back for dinner. The whole family's there. We got like 40 of my family members here at the beach at Destin. This was one of the best bourbon hunts I've ever had in my life, if I'm being honest. I mean, man, that was crazy. Eagle Rare 17 year, probably only ever seen this in person like once before. So I just thought it was cool to see all of those allocations in one single spot. It's just crazy. Amazing. Yes, it's gonna get cracked. Yes, I'm gonna drink it. No, I'm not gonna trade it. I'm not gonna do anything else. This is a dream bottle of mine, something I've always wanted. We're gonna make it happen. I appreciate every single one of you that watch the channel, follow along this awesome journey. I'm trying to build, you know, just a great community. I just want a lot of like-minded people that enjoy good whiskey and don't mind hearing me talk for like 20 or 30 minutes per video. You know, it's a really good time. I've got to meet some amazing people. Even some of you I've met in person, and you know, it's honestly changed my life. So I appreciate you all. Yeah, I guess I'm still a little bit lost for words. That's all I gotta say for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.